introduction, small recap. Okay, so what happens is in BI, the smallest thing is nothing but the info object. Whenever you are building anything in BI, we start with an info object. Just like in a table, we are having fields. Like a table is made up of fields. Likewise, a BI target is made up of info objects. Okay, so that is the reason. Instead, our main intention is loading into the BI target, but to build the target, we require info objects. So that's the reason we start our course with info objects. Okay, so we have okay, let me take you to the earlier class. Okay, so before you can see over here fields in tables equal to info objects in BW. Info objects is smallest building block. Okay, so before starting with info objects, we understood what was master data and transaction data. Okay, so transaction data is nothing but anything related to transactions. We can easily identify what is master data and transaction data. So this discussion which we had in earlier class, it was a generic discussion, not related to SAP BI. So normal discussion. Okay, so if you see this employee data, so you are seeing salary, tax paid. So from this you can say that these are measurable, like salary I can measure, quantifiable I can quantify, like this much is the salary, and calculations can also be done. Okay, so since they are measurable, quantifiable, calculations can also be done, we call it as a transaction data. But what is this transaction data for? This transaction data is of the employee. Okay, so that's how we separated it as transaction data. Now let us see what is master data. This is the master data set. If you see this, there is nothing which is related to calculations or anything. Like you do not find anything which is quantifiable or measurable. It is pure descriptions or pure description about the objects. So that is why it is called as master data. So this whole four fields are the master data for employee. Employee name, designation and department are also part of it. So what we further told is master data comes as three parts. One is the attributes, next is the text and hierarchies. Okay, so what do we mean by attributes? Attributes is nothing but giving additional information for the main object. So employee is sufficient, like whatever transaction data we are seeing for this employee ID, this is salary and tax paid, that is sufficient, and it is not confusing also because each employee will have a separate employee ID. So in that way it is not confusing also, but for a more clear understanding we require what is that employee name, designation, consultant. So these name, designation, department, they are giving additional information for the employee. You can see, so that's the reason they are called attributes of employee. So master data is as having attributes. Text. So what is the reason for text is, let us say take an example of another master data, material number, description. So if you just say material number, that is not meaningful in the end report. If you just display material number, that should be understandable that material number 101 is gold. Likewise, material group A, if you just display that in the report, it is not understandable to the user. We can say that A is a perishable product, non-perishable product. So what you are finding, for any object, whether it is a main object or for the attributes, we are giving descriptions. That description is nothing but the text for better understanding. Okay, that is what. And one more thing, we have master data classified as hierarchies. Okay, hierarchies is for further, if they are arranging in a further manner. Like let us say this employee consultant we are saying, right? So they can have an hierarchy like project manager level 1, senior consultant level 2, consultant level 3. So along with each record they will store it belongs to which level. For this, if they are maintaining hierarchy, since it is consultant, they will maintain level 3. The reason is again for analytical purpose in reporting. In reporting, they can analyze based on hierarchy levels, like how many consultants I am having, how many senior consultants I am having. So step by step, parent-child relationship, you can see. First he will expand project manager, under that he will expand consultant, then he will expand this one more consultant. That is what. Okay. One more example for hierarchy is there might be many sales representatives. You can, if you want to analyze that people, if they are maintained in hierarchy like region wise, east, west, north, south, that is also one of the way we can maintain hierarchy. So this is about master data, transaction data. We understood transaction is purely related to transaction, master data is attributes, text, hierarchies. After having that understanding, we started with what is types of info objects. We told that two types classify as key figures, characteristics. Okay, for our understanding, even though it might not be correct, we can say that key figures is transaction data, characteristics master data. So it means that whatever transaction data you are having, like this salary, tax paid, that is the key figure. Whatever master data, the employee name, all these are characteristics. Okay, so this is about this thing. So if you see this, let us say we have, okay, let us say we have got a file to load into BW, or we are getting a data from R3. Any which case, I have to first see the source. Like given that I have got a source, if I have to start developing in BW, then only this info object concept comes. Okay, let us see. This is a file which I have got. Now user wants to say that load this file. I want reports on this file. Obviously, I have to load this data into BW. When I am loading, I will obviously start with info object. At that moment, I have to decide whether it is a characteristic or key figure. So this is where you will start to segregate into key figures and characteristics. Now let us say this information you are having: employee, employee salary, tax paid. So if this is the file you are having, obviously you can classify this file. You can sort out salary and tax paid are related to calculations. You can just see whether it falls under this definition: quantifiable, measurable, based on which calculations can be done. So these both fall under that. Obviously they are the key figures. Now anything other than that is the characteristic. So obviously for employee I need a characteristic info object. For salary and tax paid I need a key figure info object. So this is how I sorted out. Likewise, if this file I have to load, or this is the source, again see for this quantifiable and measurable things. If we see, nothing is there with which we can do calculations or any other things. So obviously this is master data, and obviously all are characteristics. So corresponding to these four fields, I have four characteristics: employee, name, designation, department. So this is what our approach should be. Okay, so this is how we start. So that is a recap of the fifth session. And yesterday session we started with a key figure. Okay, we thought of starting with a key figure. Okay, we have something called as transaction codes. Okay, so you have the SAP logon on your desktop. Connect to the SAP system in this. Okay, BI, sorry, connect to the BI system. You will have entries for the BI as well as ECC. So connect to the BI, give username, password. So in initial class, when I told that in BI, the only transaction code which we need to remember is RSA1. It's not compulsory you need to remember every single T code. If this is there, you can navigate to any place. So you can see RSA1. I am pressing that, enter. So you can see this. This is the data warehousing workbench modeling. You can go to any place, info object, data source system, anything you can do. Okay. Further, this particular topic we are discussing about info object. So I need a T code which is more suitable for maintaining info object. That's why we have this RSD1. Okay. So instead of using this RSA1, what we are doing is using RSD1. So /n, because I am opening in the same session. /o means /o transaction code means I will open in the next session. /n transaction code means I will open in the same session. Okay, you can see that we have got this info objects. The reason why I was telling central maintenance is, if you see, I can create a new one, I can activate, I can change, I can display, I can delete, even I can repair also. Over a period of time, it might get corrupted due to frequent changes in the structure of the object. We might even repair also. So that's the reason it is central maintenance. Okay, so over here you are further seeing as, you are not only seeing characteristic and key figure, you are seeing unit characteristic and time characteristic. So additional two things you are seeing. So what we told is characteristics are further classified as unit, time and technical. So three more sub parts for the characteristic. Okay, so everyone able to hear me, right? No problem. Because
Yeah.
yeah, because Imran has left, so I thought because he leaves whenever, like in the initial class also when he faced audio problem, he left. So I thought any audio problem. Okay. So this is what the characteristics further classified as unit, time and technical. But you are able to see only unit and time over in the T code which we are seeing. Only unit and time you are seeing. You are unable to see the technical. So to see technical, we have one more transaction code, RSD5. This is D1. For technical it is D5. So you can see it is similar, just one extra button is there. Okay. The reason why we do not use this is technical characteristic is just for system consistency. We are not maintaining, that system itself is maintaining. Okay. So that's the reason we are not worried about technical characteristics. So you have chosen technical characteristics. Here this button is chosen. Now if you are new, you do not know what are the technical characteristics. You might want to see what are already available technical characteristics, the list of available objects that you can see with function key F4. If I press the function key F4, it will show me the list of available objects. So you can see a whole list of objects. You can see data package ID. Okay, you are seeing some parent ID, node ID, link ID. This is nothing but if I told hierarchy is parent-child relationship, right? So parent under that child, under that one more child, like that. Further, you can see request ID, record mode. So all these are technical things. Whenever we load data, it is captured in a request. So for that request, it is maintaining one characteristic. That is what we can say. So these are the technical things, technical characteristics. Let us try to create a technical characteristics. ZID 76, let us say. I am creating it. What will system say? Function is not allowed for info objects. If you see this is an information message because you can read over here I and information. To see further detail, click on the question mark. You can read what it is saying. Okay, what it means is it is not possible to create or delete the technical characteristics. Whatever is there, that is the only thing. That is the reason, since we are not dealing with technical characteristics anyhow, we never use RSD5. We frequently use RSD1 for central maintenance of info objects. So done with
these
yes,
technical hello.
yes, yes.
These technical characteristics, when like we do they get created on their own at various times or whatever we are doing, it doesn't matter. Because for example, we saw O record mode. We do use that. That is in the table, like you specify
Yeah.
the data mode. That is the field. So I'm wondering how does that get created? It means in the background, irrespective of what you're doing, the technical characteristics are getting created, or how does that work?
Yeah. So what happens is correct point. So what happens is now let me just show you. I need to tell one point over here which I thought of telling little in today's class. So if you see over here, either click on this button or press function key F4. So yeah, we are back to that, and what you said correct, record mode is there over here. So if you see closely observe, it is starting with 0 record mode. So any object which starts with 0, it is a standard object. So let me write it down. This is nothing but BI namespace. Namespace is nothing but the naming conventions. Yeah. Starts with 0.
So that means
Yeah.
so there will be no, as per our discussion, there will be no BIC for the user because you said that we never create the characters.
Yeah, correct.
Technical characters.
Yeah, correct. Standard standard object. Okay. Further, standard BI object we can say. Anything which starts with C is called as a standard BI object. Further, what I can say that is like it is like a ready-made solution. The advantage you get with SAP is not only this BI or anything, you will have certain things pre-installed so that if your business is suitable with that, you can directly activate and use instead of creating from the scratch. Some ready-made solutions are there. Likewise, in BI also, the ready-made solutions are called as BI content. Okay, standard predefined stuff, you can say pre-delivered objects, not objects means everything, not, but don't confuse it with the info objects, any object. Okay, let me show you that part also. Then again we'll come back to this. That is a very good advantage we get with BI. So I'm using the RSA1. You can see over here the BI content. I have clicked on that. I just wanted to show you is what all are available over there so that you can get an idea. Okay, you can see maybe you have gone over in the demo or any other place, like we have something called as query, we have info objects, info cube, data store object, transformation, DTP, data source. So whatever data transfer process, info package, whatever terminology we have in BI, everything is included over here. And for each one, we have standard objects. Let us just see info object as we are discussing. I'll click on choose the objects, select objects. You'll get a very big list. So if you see over here, scroll down, so many objects are there. Don't know the actual number, maybe in thousands, but so many standard objects are there. All these are starting with 0. For each particular area, you might say, for retail sector they are giving something, for manufacturing sector, for standard things. Okay, like this, so many standard info objects are there. This is nothing but the BI content. So let us say if you are working with a company code. So let me type company code. Like let us say if in your source you want to let me show this. So your source is having company code or plant. Our first step would be what is the corresponding info object, whether it is a characteristic or a key figure. Okay, after that you can see balance, quantity, company code, everything is standard available. Let me search, let us search and find whether company code is there or not. You can see around 42 company codes are there, different areas. To be more specific, since I know, I can say that 0 company code is the one, 0 comp code. So just let me see that. Okay, it might have gone little above 0 comp code. Or we can directly search it also by giving, instead of giving it as a description, I could have given the technical name since I already have idea about that. If you don't have idea, we need to give the descriptions and find it out. Okay, so you can, this is what I was talking about, company code. So this is a standard object. So you don't have to create your own object. You can readily install this and continue. So what actually happens is, to make you understand, but don't get confused. In order to work with it, if we find anything suitable in the business content, for info object we have found, for cubes if you find, or anything if you find, just choose that. And so now all the related stuff will get transferred. You can see under the status bar, so many things to that are getting transferred. The predefined data flow also it will give. You don't have to worry about data flow also. So that is that will be the advantage with BI content. even standard queries and everything. Like let us say if you are working in the sales area, you don't need to create any queries. That particular queries will be readily available. If it is suitable, you can directly install them. Okay, now you can see over here, if I expand this, why you are getting so many objects. We are dealing with info object, but you are getting query, this thing and that thing. The reason is we can, as I told, data flow. So even the data flow option was like this in data flow before and afterwards. So the total flow came. If I choose necessary object, only that object is there. So it will be very fast. And what we can do is choose that object, click on install. This is how we start with an object. So zero company code is a standard object. I have zero, like I can install this and start. So this is how the business content will make our work simple. Now coming back to our discussion, as you have now understood all zero objects. So this is as a, this all this also is a part of BI content only. So readily available. Further in BI content, some things are readily available. Some things we need to activate. Like for example, we had to activate the company code, which suppose if it was inactive. But these things, the technical characteristics, these are by default, they will be activated and given to you. Because whatever load you do, that particular technical stuff should be noted in this. Like let us say I'm loading a request. Okay, to be more uh, understand to understand more better, I will just show you with this request ID. I will just show you already loaded one load. You can see that RSA1. I already have a cube for which I have done a load. So let us just see that. Cube or DSO as you wish. So you can see over here, this is a load which I have done, in which 5 records I have been loaded. But how it system is maintaining this load, it is maintaining as a request ID. Okay, this load so and so request ID, that load next load so and so request ID. So where is this request? Obviously, when I am loading, I am not the one who is giving this request ID, right? Based on some serial number sequence, system itself is generating the request ID, and where it will store, like in which object it is storing, in zero request ID. Like this, all the technical stuff, related stuff, system will store in the respective things. We like predefined stuff. We don't have to tell direct which one to store where. Okay, so it just stores over there. So might be your doubt is cleared, Vivek. Sorry if I got your name wrong.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I was just wondering like why they make that. Okay, no,
Is it clear right now?
I have. Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So anyone, like not only him, anyone, if you have any doubt, like might be today is a first day for some of you, it would be confusing. I tried to revise everything and come to this position, but still, if you have any doubt, no problem, you can ask.
So,
Yes.
so if there is no BI content, then we can create them like a statistic or key figure. Correct?
Yeah, correct. That's what. So that is the reason what is happening is when I tried to create any technical characteristics, system was throwing error. You cannot create. That is the intention of even SAP as well as that there is no requirement of technical characteristics. Whatever we have supplied, since we have designed the product, we know what is there. So you don't need to create anything. That is why it is not allowing us. Okay, so that is about the technical characteristics. Okay, now I have covered the time characteristics in yesterday class, and now if I again go through time characteristics, it would be a little uh, time consuming. Again, it will take another 5-10 minutes, and moreover, I would now want to shift to key figure and unit. So this thing has no relationship, no linking with time. Time is an individual one. If you go through the recording once, you can catch it. Okay. So that we can cover a new topic today instead of covering the already covered one, I want to cover this unit characteristic and key figure. Okay. So let me open my ECC system once. So give user ID and passwords. So you can see the look and feel is similar with ECC BI. Throughout SAP, the look and feel will be similar. Okay. So I need to open a table SC11. Okay, let me open one material area related table, MARA. So I will write it down over here which T code we used in ECC side. T code SC11 table MARA. Okay, so just let us go through this table. As I told you, table is built up of fields. Obviously, so many fields are there. Fields, you can see over here fields. Around 236 fields are there inside under this table. Fine. What we are saying, these fields corresponding to these fields only we are having info objects in BI. To prove it more, to prove it more, what we can do is, let me scroll down and see any object. So in table you are finding the data types as char, DATS. So this is chars, nothing but characteristic values. DATS means date. So you can see DATS, date of last change. So for storing different things, they are using a data type. Okay. Data type specifies what kind of data is stored in that. Okay. So I'm just scrolling down. I have come across this thing called as quantity. Okay. So like I would like you all to answer that. We going by our initial discussion, anything which is measurable and quantifiable. So let us say this particular field, I have to bring it into BW. What should I create? A characteristic info object or a key figure info object for this gross weight, net weight?
Key figure.
Key figure, yeah.
Correct. Obviously key figure. So further what we are able to say is, in R3 side itself the data type is quantity. So it is only telling that it is quantifiable, right? Something, it comes under that category. So by seeing that also we can blindly say that it is a key figure. So, but further, let us see over here. Let us see this next line. Okay. Let us see with these two things. So we are having something called as volume and volume unit, because the reason is, like if you say 1000, 2000, it doesn't make any sense unless you specify that it is 1000 cc, 1000 centimeter cube, or 1000 liters, 2000 liters. So because we are measuring something, some unit should be there in which we are measuring, not the only value. If we are talking about the weight, 10 kgs, 20 grams, like that, right? So all of them, for weight or for any other things, unit should be there. So that concept we are having in R3 side only. Uh, Quantity field is applied with a unit. Wherever volume goes, to make it more understandable, they are giving unit, volume unit. So you can see the relationship between quantity fields in this last tab. Okay, you can see over here that this volume is accompanied by, is having a unit field VOLEH. That is the relationship you can find. Further, as you have understood this, I think now, you can see gross weight, net weight. These both are also key figures, right? Measurable things. In R3 side, they are quantity data type. Further, like as we discussed, 10, 20 is not meaningful. 10 kgs, 20 tons. Likewise, for unit also we require, for weight also we require unit. So what they are doing is, since gross weight, net weight, both are similar units. So instead of using a, different unit, for these two things, they are using one unit called as the weight unit. But that they are supplying. So whenever they are using gross weight, they are supplying corresponding unit, this weight unit. Whenever net weight, this weight unit. So this is about that. Now again check the relation in last tab. So you can see wherever gross weight, this is the unit. Wherever net weight, the same unit. So this is what is the concept in the R3 side table field concept. Now obviously info object is equivalent to the field. So similar concept should exist in BI. So you see this in RS. In RSD1, let us see the key figure. Okay, I have chosen by default, whenever you open RSD1, you will get the radio button characteristic. Now open the key figure, choose the key figure and see that the button is over here. Now again the same dilemma. I don't know, I am new to the subject, I don't know what are all the key figures. So if you want to find list of objects, click on this button or function key F4. So you can see all are the key figures, the promotion price, amount, annual salary, confirmed quantity, open quantity, like this. So many standard key figures are given. For each region that SAP has tried to give a key figure. Okay, let us see quantity. So I know the standard object, so I am directly typing it as 0 quantity. So 0 quantity. Let us open the 0 quantity. Okay, so click on display. If you just observe it for 1 minute, you will get to know what is there. We are having something called as a description. Obviously, long description, short description. This is because when you are using this thing in the report, there should be some description so that user understands that corresponding field belongs to quantity. So that's the reason we have a description. Without description also we can maintain, but for better clarity, description is required. Okay. Further, what we are seeing, the type or the data type. Since it is quantity, it is coming under which data type? Quantity data type. Further, QUAN. The reason we know QUAN, because in table itself it is QUAN, right? Further, what we are seeing, a unit is supplied. So along with quantity, we are clubbing it with a unit. So wherever quantity is there, I need a unit. That is how we are telling. So for storing quantity like 10, 20, like let us say 10 kgs, 20 kgs, the 10 or 20 is stored in this quantity, but the kg, gram, all those are stored in this unit. So we can split it as two parts. So if you see over here in the file also, whenever I am having quantity and units, for these two, I am using only zero quantity. Corresponding info object for this field is zero quantity. But how it is dealing, this value is stored in the zero quantity, this value is stored in the zero unit, right? So this is how it will be there. Let us see a balance. For accumulated balance, the standard one is zero balance. Okay, click on display. So again you can see again the description, short and long description. Further, the data type. What is the data type this time? They have chosen as amount, and obviously when anything related to amount, currency should be specified, like 1000 US dollars, 50 euros, 30 pounds, like that. So for amount we are getting a corresponding unit is the currency. Okay. So to show you this part also, let me open any currency part thing. Currency thing might not be there in this table, so we can find it in VBAK table. So you can see over here NETWR. What is the data type? CURR. Net value of sales order in document currency. What is the net value? 1000, 20,000 dollars, all those things. So the unit is this thing. CUKY stands for the currency key. So currency and currency key. So if you see the last tab, the relationship again. For currency, we are supplying a currency key. The same way in BW also. For balance, we are having a corresponding unit. So if this thing is there, we call it as one object only, one key figure. But within the balance, this amount is stored. Within the zero currency, this currency type is stored. Okay. So this is about the key figures. So further you can see over here data type CURR. The reason why is because in table the data type is CURR. So this, going by this discussion, we can say that, can we today say that okay, sorry. 1 second, give me 1 second. Okay, I'm sorry for that. Uh, he was an old student, so he just thought of calling me. Okay.
Excuse me, I was wondering that
Yeah.
I read, of the 16 dimensions, the 3 dimensions that SAP supplies, the unit, time, and the technical. How does
Yeah, yeah.
that come here?
Okay. So, okay, okay. So that thing, what happens is this point there is just only for Mr. Sharma, because he has some understanding. Others don't get confused with this. So
That is Harish actually.
yeah, okay, okay, Harisha.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, so only just for him, because he was asking something related to an advanced topic.
Oh no, let it be. No,
No,
you
no
people
problem.
just fine. I don't want to distract the class. Please carry on.
Okay,
I
no
just
problem.
thought maybe very quickly you can say one
Yeah,
or
yeah,
two sentences.
yeah. That's
Because
the
I see that when
yeah. What
when
happens
we
is
load this from the
yeah.
go ahead.
Whenever we have this quantity or key figures, we are placing under the key figure folder. The corresponding units come under the unit dimension.
Right.
Okay, so this is about that.
Okay,
Okay,
that's it. So basically, it's just for storage.
yeah,
As far as the table structure is concerned, it doesn't matter. You can have a line. Then
yeah,
okay, all right, no problem. Thank you. That's it.
yeah. So this is about the key figure. So I hope like I was asking one question, that can we say that fields is equivalent to info objects, going by all this discussion?
Yeah, I mean, but actually, I would say that more elaborate would be info object is like a unit that goes together. So, like,
Yeah,
when you define a customer, the customer is a field is a customer ID, but an info object is a customer's whole idea, where he
yeah,
stays and all
yeah.
those things. So a collection of fields becomes an info object, basically. A
You are
structure,
also
basically, it's a structure.
oh yeah, you are also correct, but the point which you are talking would be when you are dealing with the whole attributes.
Right, right. See, as the database, the whole idea is they want us to get this analytical. When we do the analysis, we can't just a field by itself is not so important in like in
Yeah, yeah,
BI,
correct.
right? Because
Yeah, yeah, that's
we
what.
need, we need entities like so things like that. Okay,
Yeah,
I just wanted to say that.
yeah, yeah, correct. So correct point. Uh, the Okay, so this is the thing which we have discussed, and I hope
So I have a
this.
quick question.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what.
What is that version comparison, like
Yeah,
version
yeah,
story, active, inactive?
yeah, yeah. I will come to that. Like anything in this discussion, you have doubts? You- Like until now we
Yeah, yeah.
discuss this version. These things I will just discuss. Like apart from that, any confusion you are having?
So you give us the exercises, right, to do all these flat file things and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can and get the access and all that, right?
Yeah, yeah, you can see on my desktops several files are there, the material attributes, the DSO, text, transaction data. So simultaneously I will do, and you can also do. Okay. So Imran, any question?
You asked a question here. Did you answer?
Yeah.
You,
So
you
what is the best way to find out these mappings? Like, yeah, I mean, you know some of these things by yourself, but is there going to be a document where we can find out these mapping, or no?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like experience you'll be
Yeah.
getting.
No, it's not a mapping. Like obviously, like if you to make you better understand, I went to the table and showed you that so and so stuff is going on in the back end. That's the reason we are having unit. Just to show that. It's not
Okay.
that we need to
Okay.
know. Okay, what we need to know is whenever we are dealing with balance and quantity, corresponding unit should be accompanied. That only one point is sufficient. Okay,
Okay.
so whenever dealing with balance and quantity key figures,
Yep.
corresponding units should be defined. Should be defined. Okay, should be mentioned or specified would be better. Specified. Okay, this is about that. So it's, if you see, we discussed about amount.
So what about the characteristic?
Yeah, characteristic, for that no unit would be there.
Okay.
Okay, so Now we are able to see 6 data types over here: amount, quantity, number, integer, date and time. So 6 data types you can define your key figure. Okay, we have covered amount and quantity. Like we said that for amount and quantity, corresponding unit should be there. But for the other 4 things, units are not required. Okay, this point you need to be clear that only for amount and quantity we have units, and for other 4 things units are not required. Further, let me start creating a key figure. Okay, just to show you one point, let me start creating a key figure. So let us create our own object. So going back to our discussion, anything which start with 0 is a standard BI object. Yeah, starts with A to Z. Yeah, from A until Z, it is a custom object. Custom object. Okay, so now as we said A to Z custom object, I can create anything. I can create A balance, B balance, anything. But the better way is create with Z. So better start with Z. Start object name with Z. Okay, so anything, any object which you are creating, not only info object, any info cube or anything, start with Z. So let us start Z balance. So we have to be careful that key figure button is chosen. This button is chosen, because by default whenever we are coming into this screen, characteristic button will be there. So that's why we need to choose this key figure. And moreover, so many people might have worked on this system, so Z balance might have been used by someone. So let us try to create. It would throw a message that already available. Okay, so this is a demo system, right? So any person can create according to his wish. Let me give it another name so that no confusion is there. So let me give it as 98. Just to avoid this again message that already available. So I'm creating. So again this one is also available. So 198. Okay. So luckily yes. So now you are seeing something called as a description. This reference and template is there. We'll come to that little later. As of now, let us give description. Okay, what is the description? Accumulated balance. Fine. So click on continue. No need to give this short description in additional. Whatever you give in long, it will come into the short, or vice versa. Okay. So we have to first tell balance. What kind of data type? Amount. It's related to amount. So are we okay with this point? Balance is related to amount.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let us just activate. So whenever we are creating any object, we need to activate that so that we can use it further. So activate. This is the button. It is throwing a message.
So what about unit and currency?
Yeah, correct. So that is what it is saying. So if you double click on this message, enter either unit, info object or fixed currency. So that is what system is also telling us, that unless you specify a unit and currency, you cannot activate the object. So again over here, you are having two boxes. One is for the fixed currency, another one is for the variable currency. It again depends upon the scenario, how you are getting. Like, let us say, now in this, is it fixed currency or variable currency? It's variable, right? because we are having US dollars, we are also having INR. So in this case, in such a case, what I can give it as I can give an info object which can store any currency. That is nothing but a unit, corresponding unit for that. So zero currency is the most common thing. Okay, so wherever mostly for amount key figure we will use zero currency. There are many other units also. If you just have a look over here, there are so many units. Approvers currency, currency of course we controlling data, so many stuff is there. So we are having something called as a document currency, and one more thing would be there, that is a group currency, local currency. You can see local currency, document currency, and statistics currency. So anyhow I am telling about currency, so let us note it down that LOC underscore currency. It is local currency. Okay, so likewise we have DOC underscore CURRCY. You don't need to remember this, I'm just writing down because we can find it out over there, right? So currency. Okay, now in what scenarios multiple currencies would be there? Okay, so let us say a client is having business in US, is also having the business in UK. So let us say head office is in US, branch office is in UK. This is head office, and this one is branch. Okay, so what they will maintain over here, let us say amount. So customer number 1001, his revenue is 50,000 US dollars. Obviously it is US, right? So US dollars they would be maintaining. So customer number 1002, this is the revenue generated from him. Okay, US dollars. Now here some other UK different customers, obviously they are doing a separate business over there. So customer number might be, the customer numbers would be same. There is some other thing which differentiates this customer number with that customer number, or we can have a different customer number. Okay, so 2001, what they are saying, 30,000 euro. Okay, EUR. Then again customer number 2002, 40,000 EUR. Okay, so what is happening? Each place they are storing according to their local currency. So for US this is the local currency. For this one UK this is the local currency. Okay, fine. Now what is happening is, whenever they are doing auditing, they will do overall US. Company overall is based in US. So what are the sales in the branches as well as head office, overall US they will be doing auditing. So for doing overall auditing, what they require, these values, whatever in branch office, they are in other currency, that local currency. It should be in the main US currency so that they can do. So what I mean is, corresponding to this, I don't know the exact conversion rate, but let us say it is 60 something USD. So again some 70 USD. So what happens is, when they are doing overall auditing, this value they have to add it to their business, like overall business. So since it is in local currency, they cannot add. They require corresponding conversion to USD. So that is what is called as a document currency. Document currency is nothing but based on which your Anyhow, this is nothing but some document. Why they it's sales order document or some purchase order documents, right? So that is nothing but a document currency. So this is a document currency. Okay, so this is the scenario where you would be having a local currency and document currency. So local currency would store local values. For here in US case, the local currency and document currency are both same. So no need of specifically maintaining a document currency, or they can maintain also, but it would be the similar US dollars at same value. But for UK, the local currency is different, document currency is maintained is different. So for in these scenarios, we are having multiple currencies. Likewise, we are having statistics currency and other currencies. Okay, so that's the reason you can see multiple currencies. Okay, so commonly as we discussed, we can use a zero currency. And now if you activate, it will accept, because either you need to specify a fixed one or a variable one. Okay. Now let us say he has not supplied us anything. This is the file which we are having. Okay. Let us say that person is having business in only one region and he has not supplied us anything. When we ask him, he will tell us that why should I maintain currency separately? All my transactions are happening in only one currency, that is some US dollars. Why should I maintain that? So in such a case, when you are not getting a currency, obviously what you can do is, and that person has confirmed, the source has confirmed that it is USD, you can give it as a fixed currency. So everything is coming in fixed currency, US dollars. So in those cases when everything is fixed, and like there are two cases for this. If he doesn't supply a currency, obviously we have to give it as a fixed currency. And even let us say if he supplies a currency and that is similar, that is fixed. Whenever he supplies a currency and that is fixed, at that moment we should make it as a this one only, variable. Okay, we can put it as a zero currency. Whenever he doesn't supply only, then we should put it as a fixed one. Okay. So you should not say that since
So
he is,
what about currency?
yeah.
So what about if the client is maintaining currency in different currencies and we want to see them in a fixed currency? So for those cases, we will
Yeah,
consider variant currency.
yeah, while loading into BW, we'll write the conversion. The currency translation would be there. We have something called as a currency translations, using which the currencies can be converted from one unit to another unit. Okay, I am not going deep, but let's just see this. We have one transaction code. Okay, currency translation type.
So, correct.
Yeah,
So there will be exchange rate to go.
yeah, correct. So
So
all
is
this
it
stuff
that
would be there.
fixed?
So convert to euro, convert to this, like this. So you will be using this to convert whenever loading. Okay, someone asked something.
So is it that the fixed currency object, fixed currency like the values that we have, they are not stored in the info object?
They will be
So
still,
if you
it will be stored in the
okay,
info
so they will be
objects.
stored still.
Yeah.
So in the same tables, all of them will still be, because the drop down will differ. Is it like supposing it, when I want to choose fixed currencies, then I will only get the drop down from what I have maintained as fixed currency, correct? Or what?
No, no, no.
Like in the old currency, in the unit currency, if I go to drop down, I'll get the values from the table, right? Whichever we have maintained in the master data table for this info object.
Yeah, yeah. Just a second.
So what is the info? Yeah.
Yeah, just a second. So what happens is, this is in the initial phase. We are taking a call whether to take make it as a fixed or variable. Okay, so
Okay.
what happens is if they are differing, one is in USD and rest are in other things or multiple, blindly we should put it as a variable. If it is fixed, what I am saying is if it is fixed, then also you need not put it as fixed over here as USD in our case. You can put it as a zero currency because that can take any value.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Further,
Right.
the case when we need to put it as fixed is only when the client is not supplying any unit.
Not supplying.
When the
Right.
source doesn't has a unit and it is fixed,
Okay.
in that case we should explicitly mention it as a fixed.
So in that case, we will not maintain that as an info object.
Yeah, like we
So
are not.
fixed value is just coming from
Yeah,
directly from the client, and there is okay.
yeah.
Yeah. All
So
right.
we are saying that for everything it is USD only. We are not. We are making it as a fixed unit, fixed currency. We are not
Maintaining.
storing it in zero currency or some other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So just it is little
Yeah. Okay.
tricky.
Yeah.
Just go through this point once and it will be clear. So this is
Mm-hmm.
about the amount point. So
Yeah.
I now let me put it as a fixed currency and activate. So you can see either I should not give both fixed and variable. Either of the thing I should give, whether it is a fixed or a variable. Now again, if I want to know what are standard fixed currencies, fixed things, click on this or F4. You can see the list of all the things. So whichever you are using for your scenario, you can use that. So maybe you people are in US, so you can see US dollars or euros. All the other things are there. Okay, so this is so because in the initial case we do not know. For something we can know that what is the unit because it is a three-letter code. This three-letter code we should be clear. If you are specifying a wrong three-letter code, it will be throwing an error. So that's the reason. Just you utilize this and find out the correct three-letter code. And moreover, if you specify as a fixed one, let us say we are specifying as euro, and by mistake any other currency is coming, it will throw an error. It will not allow you to load. So you should make sure that 100% if it is fixed only, like there are no cases, some human error or some source side error doesn't occur, then you can go. If frequently some error is occurring in the source, like one of the field they are maintaining it as by mistake different thing, your loads will get affected. So that's why what they do is most of the cases they put it as zero currency. So whether it is fixed or variable, anything it will accept and load.
Yeah.
So it is a safer bet. So this is about the key figure. So I will stop with this. Maybe you have to catch up with the previous class as well as today's class. So just go through this, okay, and come up with any doubts you have, or we will continue with the other types and other options, version, status, and all the things. Okay.
When is the next class?
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah. The next class is tomorrow, the same time, 7 o'clock.
And
Seven,
I
same.
still how does the system access work? I mean, I thought that we would have like, for example,
Yeah,
when it is morning here, afternoon, if we have free time, we could log on and
yeah,
try
yeah,
to like do some exercises.
yeah, yeah. I would share the system access as well with you.
Yeah, yeah, that's because that would be, and so you will give some exercise also, right? So that we will do some goal-oriented practice instead of just like
Yeah,
moving around the system. Like,
yeah, yes, yes. Like first we are
okay,
understanding the
all
basic
right,
points, then we will do the data loading
right,
for
right, all
different
right, yeah,
scenarios.
sure,
Okay.
right. If you give some scenarios, then we
Yeah,
have
if
a
you,
focus, of what we have to do.
yeah,
Otherwise,
like just to show
we'll
you,
start doing something and
yeah, yeah,
probably mess up the system.
yeah, yeah. So if you to just show you that part also, like I have certain info areas over here. Info area for BI trainer.
No problem.
So you can see for scenario wise, for loading to this, for loading to this, for this. Each scenario will be
Right. Okay. So we'll
covering
work in
topic.
that sense.
So
All right.
okay, so
Okay.
yeah, just go through
And
this. Yeah.
every day we'll have this. Every day we'll have the same, or over the weekend you'll do some like expand or more or something like that. No.
Uh,
Every day will be right.
yeah. Like I prefer to take it regularly
Every day.
with regularly
Okay.
without
Yeah. And
any
I just
break.
wanted to know.
Yeah.
I'm not. I just wanted to know what your schedule is like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So
That's fine
once
with
in
me.
a while, maybe on one Saturday or one Sunday, I would one class I would skip, but
And you and what after the course, like the when we are once we're done, but you did say something like the system access would be for a little more
yeah,
time,
yeah,
right?
correct,
So
correct. It's
after
not just for
3
the
months,
duration of the
maybe.
course, even after the duration of the course also, because
Correct.
that is where you will do
Yes.
the
All
practice
right.
and gain some stuff.
Exactly. Exactly. That's true. All right.
Yeah,
That's fine with me. So, you know, so Sharma, you're fine, huh? Okay, Sharma. I mean, you can
Yeah,
talk to him.
Mr. Shah.
Please, you'll have to talk
yeah,
to Sharma on the side. Okay, he just came today.
yeah.
It's his first
So
day. So I.
Yeah, so I followed the
yeah,
class. I have some experience with business intelligence, not with BI, this
okay.
particular tool. But so I'll wait for the recordings and also for the
Yeah, yeah.
access information, and I should be able to go through those things
Yeah,
and pick things
so
up.
might be the access, it would be 1 or 2 days until everything is sorted out,
Oh
but
yeah.
the recordings would be shared to you
Fine.
immediately within another 20 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so
And tomorrow I'm going to try to join because this thing came
yeah,
at me at
yeah, okay,
sudden
okay,
short notice.
yeah,
I'm
okay,
glad we did. But tomorrow's
Yeah.
class, I just might not be able to make it back. I'll try though.
okay. So
I'll follow the recordings
yeah, yeah.
later.
So as all
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
you know, I have shared my Skype ID with you. All anything you can ping me. So as I write it down over here again, arvind.sapbw. I'm available most of the time on Skype. So you can add me, send me a request, and anything you have, you can contact me. Okay.
Arvind.SAP
BW.
BW. That's the Skype ID.
Yeah.
All right, Arvind.
Yeah. Okay. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay. Thank you.